Hi everyone, we are going to try to make some pan-seared, well-seasoned shrimp. And what you need here is 2 pounds of shelled and deveined shrimp that has been rinsed and dried. And now we're going to season it with seasoned salt, which is my homemade one, with the Himalayan sea salt and garlic and onion powder and also some dill. Then a little soy sauce, little sesame oil and black pepper. Then you toss it, toss it, and then re-season it. Season to your taste. And now we need to put a couple of teaspoons of cornstarch to help the seasoning stick to your shrimp. Just go ahead and mix it with your hand. Alright, now it's well mixed it. Let it set for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes before you pan sear them. Alright, we'll come back to you later.
Hey guys, welcome back. We decided we're going to do more than just the pan seared shrimp, and we're going to do pork chops. Pork loin? What is this?
That's pork loin.
Pork loin, okay. And what seasonings did you put on it?
Canadian steak seasoning.
Oh, okay. And then basically all you're doing is just pan frying it, right?
Mm-hmm. In my sausage grease. These are thinly sliced. That they've been seasoned since yesterday, and we're only going to cook them a couple minutes on each side. We don't want to kill our pork twice. Yeah. Now we are halfway through. It's 2 minutes, and you can see that the edge is changing color. You need to flip it over. And put the cover back on, and for another couple minutes. We have started to cooking this pork chop on medium-high heat, and then when we turn it over, I lower the heat to medium-low, or just between the medium and low for another minute or two, and then shut it off and let it sit there for another minute or so. This allows it to create its own juice, and we're going to make pan sauce out of this juice. And for pan juice, pan sauce, we put a little bit of balsamic vinegar in it. Turn the heat back on low. And put in a tablespoon of butter. And make sure you stir it in good because you want that to incorporate instead of just melt it. Okay, that's actually good enough. And now we put a little bit, maybe a teaspoon of fat back into the pan. Turn it up. Heat the pan up. And you may wonder why I don't wash my pan before I start something else. It's because everything that you cook in the same meal, that when you cook the meat first, meat gonna leave some flavor at the pan, in the pan. So the next thing that you cook is gonna have different flavor. Incorporate that flavor into it. And especially if you stir fry vegetable afterwards, your vegetable is gonna taste so much better. And we'll show you how that works. Okay. And now we're going to cook our shrimp. I'm just going to put 1 pound in there or so. And spread it out in single layer so you could get good sear. And now we put the cover back on because we don't want to splatter all over the place. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the other half of the shrimp away for the next meal. I take a clean produce bag and just put all my shrimp, rest of the shrimp in there and tie it up. I could put it straight into a refrigerator or put it in a container for later usage. And now we're going to turn the shrimp. And they're kind of like the pork chop. You start out on a medium-high heat, but when you turn over, you turn the heat down so you don't burn them. Like my saying, they already did. Don't need to kill them twice. In another couple of minutes, and we'll be done. Couple minutes. The shrimp is done. Turn the heat down. We're going to continue to use this pan to cook something else.
So the way you're doing it, you don't need to have a lot of pans and utensils and stuff like that.
Especially if you don't like to do dishes, or you expect somebody else to do the dishes for you, be nice. Don't dirty up so many things when you don't have to. And each time you wash the pan, you wash the flavor away. Only wash them when you're done at the end of the day. I got some leftover grease from this morning from the sausage. And the reason it looks yellow is because I have fried the eggs with turmeric. Season it with turmeric, that's why it's yellow. But now I need a little bit more fat.
What kind of fat are you using?
Oh, that's beef fat that I rendered from the free beef fat that I got.
Beef trimmings? Or
Yeah,
the
beef,
fat trimmings?
yeah, fat trimmings from the grocery store for free. Okay, now we want to put garlic. Chopped green onion. And here's some, this is the optional item right here. This is baby shrimp. I call shrimpies. Anyhow, I'll put that in there. And this is homegrown hot pepper. And some shredded carrots. The only way I like carrots. And then a squeeze or two of anchovy paste. And also, this is optional. You don't like it, you don't have to, but it really brings some of the best umami in any stir fry. Uh-oh, there goes my secret.
So what are you getting ready to stir fry now, besides what you just put in?
Sugar snaps. I cannot stand the snow peas because I didn't like the sweetness of it. But for some reason, the sugar snap actually come out really good this way. And now we put about 1/8 teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt, sprinkle on top.
Now, why would you use Himalayan sea salt instead of just regular table salt?
Well, table salt is just salty, obnoxiously salty, and have no taste. It imparts no flavor. It does not enhance anything, and probably have no nutritional value. But Himalayan sea salt, at least it's natural. It's not man-made. It's not high heat treated, and has no chemical in it. And it has trace mineral in it that we cannot get from the regular table salt. And it really enhances the flavor of anything you cook. So now we're going to cover it and let it simmer for, I would say, maybe 4 minutes. But make sure you stir it in between. How's our peas coming? Looks pretty good.
So I wanted to ask you, why do you use the beef fat?
Well, because when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my grandmother told me one day, she said, "Dumb girl, when you grow up, don't ever use that vegetable oil that the rich people use." This is because when they first came out, they were expensive, and only rich people could afford it.
In Taiwan.
In Taiwan,
Yeah.
yes. And she said, don't ever use that nasty vegetable oil. And I look at her funny, and she said, well, because you don't want to have that, you don't want to eat that stuff, because you see people that use that, their pots and pans get so nasty, and you cannot scrape it off, and you cannot, you just, there's no way you could get it off. Even with a knife, you can't scrape it off. And she said, think what that does to your artery in your heart. And then she said, I'm cooking with pork fat. I used animal fat. All I had to do is a pot of hot water, it runs off instantly. So she said, so don't ever use that nasty vegetable oil.
And you said if it what it does to the pots and pans, imagine what it does inside your body.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it was salad oil back then, wasn't it?
They call it salad oil, but it's
yeah.
essentially it's the vegetable oil.
Alrighty.
Okay. A little bit earlier, I was putting a little soy sauce and a little bit of what they call hondashi. It's a Japanese seasoning. And it kind of enhanced the flavor just a little bit. But again, that's optional. Okay? So now we are done. So here's the surf and the turf. And now we're going to have some veggie to go with it. And that's our dinner. Bon appetit!